the first task is to penetrate the German market to get a good level of service and sales in that market, and then we are looking at global expansion. This is an allergen that has a high presence in the US, for example. All the clinical program that we've done for Germany has been also done in coordination with FDA.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Manuel Llobet. He's Chief Executive of Allergy Therapeutics. Manuel, very good to speak with you. You've announced some major news regarding your grass allergy immunotherapy. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, we received yesterday evening confirmation that this candidate vaccine has been approved. It's a vaccine for moderate to severe allergic patients to grass, which is the main segment in the allergy market. And we are very proud and very happy. It's been a long journey, about 1 decade, working on the clinical program and tens of millions of investment to produce a state-of-the-art product, a product that will be a game changer in the market for the benefit of our patients. It's short course, it does not contain aluminium. As a depot system, it's adjuvanted, so the treatment can be accelerated. And it's a very convenient treatment for patients, and that also reinforces a key concept in our field, which is compliance. So that's the first product that has been approved in the SCIT segment. SCIT means subcutaneous immunotherapy. In the German market under the TAV framework, which is the Therapieallergene-Verordnung. And we feel proud and very committed to our patients to deliver the very best of the best.
This is your first major approval for some years, Manuel. What are your next steps for the product?
Yeah, so first of all, we want to have a proper development in the German market. As I said, the grass segment is the biggest one, and we can grow a lot. We are replacing with this new product the old product that was an inpatient product, that was the Pollinex Quattro Grass. This is an improved version with much more content of active principle, and it's a much better product. So the first task is to penetrate the German market to get a good level of service and sales in that market, and then we are looking at global expansion. This is an allergen that has a high presence in the US, for example. All the clinical program that we've done for Germany has been also done in coordination with FDA, and in the studies have participated US patients and European patients. So we want to use this clinical development program to see if we can submit an application in the US market. So that would be a key next step. In Europe also, we need to discuss with the Polar League Institute how could we establish a process of mutual recognition, and that would allow us to register the product in many European countries that have agreements with EMA. And also Asia, that we recently announced that we want to develop that area. We know that there is a high prevalence of grass allergy in Asia, though there is no any available product yet. So lot to do. But first, grow in Germany and then go through a global expansion.
Manuel, apart from today's news, you recently announced your financial results for the year to end June 2025. What would you highlight from those results?
Yeah, I think there's it's quite relevant, though the number is not that appealing. Maybe from a top line perspective, we still grew 2% in euros, which is our reference market. whilst we are doing a structural change in our portfolio. So, as you may have heard before, in our field, there is a tectonic change in the market, which is that these markets now are going to be regulated, and therefore all the products in the market will have to be registered. This process in Germany, it's called TAB, but it started now in Spain and will start in other markets. And that means that our portfolio that few years ago was mostly made of NPP products, now it's going to be a portfolio of registered products. So we are turning around our portfolio, switching from NPPs towards registered products, phasing out important products like Pollinex Quattro in Germany, not in other markets. And that implies that we have a steep decline on these old products, but we are still able to offset these products that we are switching with registered products, and next year with this new product in Germany. So to summarize, sales are relatively flat, but there is a very important component of portfolio reorganization behind the scenes.
Yeah, you also recently announced that the company is exploring a dual primary listing in Hong Kong. What's the reason for that, Manuel?
Yeah, that's a very exciting project. We want to become a global player. As I said, we've been doing clinical trials in the US for 15 years and invested tens of millions of dollars. We have 4 INDs open in the US. We have a vaccine for grass, another for tree, another for ragweed, and another for peanut. So we have a comprehensive portfolio under development in the US. That's a market that we want to reach, but also Asia. China will be the most important market in few years, and we cannot be there. So we want to develop the Chinese market and the Asian market, but primarily China. And we thought that engaging with Chinese investors would make sense. That would allow us to engage Chinese investors to develop the area and the market where it's very poorly served, I would say. And also we'll have opportunities to improve our liquidity and to raise additional funds to develop that part of the market.
Manuel, congratulations again on that milestone with Grassmuno. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
That's Allergy Therapeutics Chief Executive Manuel Llobet.